Hey guys, John Paul here again. You know this guy Royce. And our question for you today is, do you feel successful? How about you, Royce? Do you feel successful?
Well, I had certain things in mind that I needed to get done today. Um, I really wanted to get to some other things after the things that I needed to get done. Had a lot of goals,
Okay.
so I suppose most of us probably don't feel successful in our day or feel successful possibly in life. Maybe we have all these goals that we were trying to accomplish. Uh, Recently, I got stumped by a 19-year-old, and he asked me, "Do you know the difference between achieving goals and achieving success?"
There's a difference?
Well, it took me a minute, and he actually had to explain it to me. And he said, "So take sports." Now, he was a big football guy,
Okay.
so all of a sudden it clicked why he would, why he would know this. But he said, "Take sports. What's the goal of the team? Is to, take your league or, achieve, whatever the goal is, the pennant, the trophy, whatever that is. That's the goal
Okay.
to achieve. But you can be successful having not met your goals." Success was um, success was showing up every day and giving it everything you had. Success was building a team that could take you into next year. Success was, all of these other things that
Hmm.
it was really cool to realize, uh, you know, in my day to day, but also in my life total. I may not achieve my goals, but I am likely still going to achieve success.
Okay. That makes me think of once again the concept of I would couch it in different terms, but I think it's similar. That it's kind of like duty versus results. Um,
Duty like dog duty?
Not that kind of duty.
Okay.
There's a quote that I would completely misquote if I tried, by one of the founding fathers
About dog duty?
about duty. And it was something to the effect of, duty is ours and the results belong to God. uh,
I ruined it.
yeah.
That was going to have such a
I
punch.
know it was. Responsibility. Discipline.
Okay, so duty is ours. And what? What was the second part?
Results are God's.
Okay. So similar then to pray like it depends on you. No, pray like it depends on God, excuse me, and work like it depends on you. That kind of a
Yes.
concept.
Yeah, it's similar.
Okay.
Because there are certain elements that are outside of our control when it
Mhm.
comes to results,
Yeah.
or something comes up during the day that just we couldn't have foreseen, and it stops us from achieving our goals.
Right.
But did we navigate the things that were thrown at us successfully?
Yeah.
Did we do our responsibilities?
Mhm.
Did we make decisions with discipline?
So when it comes to leadership, this is kind of a fun concept, I think, because what what we're going to do, like let's say on a job site or a project, or you have a client, you're going to look at it and you say, "I have these specific goals. The goal is to, I'm doing this for profit. I need to make X amount of money, but the goal is really here. I want to make this much money. I have this other goal over here and this goal over here." But I may not achieve those goals, but I may still have a successful outcome on the project. So
Mhm.
there may be specific goals that I don't hit. Um, so I think it's fun to actually define a successful outcome. And you can do this in your family, you can do this anywhere.
Yeah.
So a successful outcome on a job site should look like no injuries. That should be, number one. That the financial aspect is attained. We want to make a certain amount of money because we're there for profit,
Hmm.
and some certain other things. But here's one that kind of you don't necessarily think about: relationships. That's actually a significant key if you're going to define success. You can have achieved your goal and be the guy that made so much money, But if you destroyed relationships along the way, you actually were not successful.
Right. It's the classic guy that makes $1 million, but his family falls apart in the process.
Right. And the same exact thing is true with clients. I mean, you could go and be extremely successful, come back and say, "Oh yeah, I made so much money on that, on that sale." And meanwhile, you follow through with it, you destroy a relationship, you destroy your
Right.
reputation, all those different things. And you were not successful even though you achieved your goals. So it's like that whole converse is true or inverse, converse, whatever. Converse is a
Like pair of
shoe. Yeah.
shoes.
So the inverse is true as well. So it's a really fun leadership concept to explore.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mhm.
To take that time and determine what does success look like versus what are the goals.
Yeah. So while we're on that topic, I love this statement, and I wish I could remember who said it first. I can remember the first time I heard it, I was actually sitting underneath an SR-71 Blackbird eating dinner. It's kind of strange, but we had a company Christmas party, and there was somebody that was speaking who had actually owned the company previous, and he's pretty old and very wise. And it was so neat to hear him stand up and say this. He says, you can do an amazing job on the project. You can make them a bunch of money. You can, do all of these different things. You can hit your schedule perfectly. They won't remember any of that. They're going to remember how you made them feel. And I was like, oh, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
You want to be successful in a lot of things. We pick out these amazing goals, but the reality is you can step on a lot of people getting to your goals, and they're not going to remember that you achieved your goals. They're going to remember how you made them feel.
Right.
And then the next time you go to do something, you're either going to be successful on that next project, or nobody's going to want to work with you based on maybe how you treated people before.
Right. Back to a more one-on-one personal level, I was just thinking the other day, have you ever asked, like, hey, describe your perfect day? I was thinking about that just recently about, boy, it used to be that I would describe my perfect day by mentally trying to pull up my list of goals. It's like, my perfect day would mean that I got up at such and such a time. I worked out for this amount of time, that I ate well, and that, my wife and I had a really good night. all the details of everything that I want, so that my day just feels like what I think the perfect day should be.
Yeah.
And boy, never having achieved that, and yet there are these days that come out of nowhere, where, wow, God did something powerful, or man, I really connected with somebody that I didn't expect to. And those days, I realized, leave me feeling way better than if every one of my whims and goals was fulfilled.
And the older I get, the more I realize that I've been waiting for, I need to get to this point so that life can start. It's kind of how I've been feeling for so many years. And the older I get, the more I realize life started a long time ago, and you're letting it pass you by, trying to achieve those goals when, looking at that difference between success and then accomplishing goals. It's boy, if I would have been a little less focused on what I was trying to achieve goals instead of achieving success, I could have probably enjoyed the journey. And now you're looking at the clock and going, well, how much do I have left?
Right. Yeah. So, I think that's a good spot to end. Yeah. Just, you guys, wherever you're at, whether you're young and just getting started, the sooner you stop and define goals and success in your life, the sooner you can get started on that successful life. And if you're feeling like, geez, I'm 40, 50, 60 or whatever, man, there's no better time than right now to change that, because you get to write the rest of your story. See you guys next time.